or somebody you love has been through, and that's, long, intensive rehab. And what I learned that night is there's never an excuse for not communicating with the people you work with. Whether it's at NASA, in the Navy, or in my case, for a long period of time now, with hospitals and doctors and nurses. Timely and accurate communication, that two-way thing, it's so important in everything we do. It's been so important in my wife's recovery. But on that night over Iran, I didn't do that. And it nearly cost me my life. Well, when my wife Gabby entered Congress for the first time in 2007, I thought I had the risky job. I'd flown 39 combat missions. I already flew 2 flights on the space shuttle as an astronaut. But as it would turn out, my wife Gabby is the one who would nearly lose her life serving her country. On the day she was shot, there was no countdown clock for me. And what I mean by that is usually when I'm about to do something that's going to require a lot of decision making and things are going to happen very quickly, there's usually a clock and it starts on time. Whether it's flying in combat or launching down the road here on the space shuttle. But on that day, I was home in Houston, Texas, training for my 4th flight on the space shuttle. Gabby and I had one of those commuter marriages. She lived in Tucson and Washington, D.C. I lived in Houston, and we'd go clockwise sometimes, and sometimes counterclockwise. And I was talking to my eldest daughter about a boyfriend problem. She was about 16 at the time. Now, she would certainly tell you that it was not her or the boyfriend that had a problem, but it was me. I guess she's right. And my phone rings. And I'd just spoken to Gabby. I knew she was at this Congress on Your Corner event that she did routinely, meeting with her constituents at a Safeway supermarket. But it wasn't her. It was her chief of staff. And Gabby's chief of staff said to me, "Mark, I don't know how to tell you this, but Gabby's been shot." Now, she didn't have a lot of other information. I hung up from the call. I told my eldest daughter, "Wake up your sister." And then I started thinking to myself, did that actually just happen? Maybe I just imagined this phone call. So I literally walked up to my phone, I picked it up, and I saw that I had the incoming call from Gabby's chief of staff. And then I called her back. And that's where she gave me the really devastating news that my wife had been shot in the head. And the impact of that was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. And I immediately realized she might not survive, and if she did, this is something that's going to affect the 2 of us and our families for the rest of our lives. Well, I had to get to Tucson in a hurry. I had a friend with a private airplane, corporate airplane, so my mom and my kids, we head to the airport, we take off west toward